Welcome back, y'all. We had an amazing weekend last weekend with the Sharpener's Jam. It was all online. I was worn out. And so I'm ready to come back in and start answering some of your questions from the jam that I said I would shoot some videos with. I also want to explore some of the ideas that came out at the Sharpener's Jam. All the videos from the Sharpener's Jam, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can watch the entire weekend on our Facebook group, Sharpener's Jam group. Please join it. If you're watching this video on our Sharpener's Jam group, please go to YouTube because there's a lot of videos there that's not on the Sharpener's Jam group. And if you are into sharpening, you're sharpening now or you want to sharpen, you're going to learn a lot from there. Plus, just have fun with us. And I want to show off our t-shirt. If you haven't got our t-shirt, those are available at bonika.com. And just to let you know, this is a size large. I normally wear a large. I probably could have got a medium. And the fabric is, well, I won't pull it up too high, but the fabric is super, super soft. So if you like one of those soft feeling t-shirts, these are great. And if you have any other ideas or designs for t-shirts, let us know. The question I want to answer today, and I heard that one, I forgot who put the question out there, but how do you tell the difference between a convex edge shear and a bevel edge shear if it's a convex shear that was sharpened as a beveled edge? Does that make sense? Some of us are still trying to figure out between a convex and a bevel, but how do you know whether a shear that you're looking at was supposed to be convex and someone else beveled it? And what do you do about it? So today, I was out yesterday. I took a day off, still recovering from the Sharpener's Jam. And I got a lot of shears coming in. I don't want to show the address here. Well, I guess you can't see the address. Got a lot of shears that came in. Got a lot of shears that came in here and here. And I'm sure in this bunch, a variety, there's going to be some that have been sharpened as a bevel that should have been in convex. So we're going to kind of go through these, see what's convex, see what's bevel, so we can just kind of do this live in real time. So join me on my bench over here. These first shears are thinning shears, right-handed thinning shears, and these are the gold line of the Jaguar. And these at first glance look like they're like a semi-convex, but when I look at them close, I realize they are a true convex. Let me show you that. You may need to get your magnifying glass. I'm going to put this on here, and I'll bring this up to the camera so you can look at it. Can you see that? Yeah. You see it's a little tiny bevel. And the other thing I do to check to see if it's semi-convex is I feel it with my thumb. And it's not sharp at all. Now, my decision here is, do I go with the angle that's on here, or do I change it to a true convex? Well, I do know Jaguar with their gold line, those are going to be at least a 45-degree angle, and they're a true convex shape. So I'm going to go in and take that little bevel out and make that a true convex. So our first shear to look at would be one exactly what you would run across where it's been sharpened before, and someone has put a very blunt feeling bevel. And that's, see, I can feel it with my thumb. I'm putting a little bit of a pressure, and it's not cutting into the callus in my thumb at all. So that's my first one to do. Let's see what else we've got here. This is the black line. This is the little higher grade. She sent the whole box. Wow. All right. Let's set the box off the side and let's take a look at these shears. Now the black line I know are supposed to be convex. Let's see if these are. They appear to be to the naked eye. Let me get my magnifier out and let's look at it and see. Yes, these are truly convex and still convex. So I'll put this up here for you to look at with me. So with my magnifier here, and you can see a few little nicks in there. but that is a true convex. These I know because I know what they're supposed to be. On the thinning shear, let's bring this back. On this shear, you wouldn't know but whether the manufacturer had put a little semi-convex and had meant it to be that way. But I do know that the goal line is truly convex, so I'll be correcting the edge on this one. I will be going with the edge that's I see here on this shear, what's on there, which I'll do a little scratch test when I sharpen it. And it'll be 45, might be 50 or 55. But I like to go with the actual angle because I know that is the pristine original edge as far as I can tell on that shear. It doesn't look like it's ever been sharpened. So that's the Black Line Synergy from Jaguar. And that's that very hard steel. So that one's going to be interesting to sharpen and make sure that I do it correctly and know that it might take a little longer for the burr to come up with that harder steel. Now let's look at this other stack of shears I have. So I have a mixture in here. So I may have an interesting variety. So let's take these out and we'll look at them one at a time. And I'll kind of triage them for you. So all these colored ones I know are semi-convex. So I immediately know that I'm not going to do a true convex on them because it'll take the color off. So this one, and this one, I'm going to do like a little bevel on them. So I would not sharpen them like a true convex. So those I've already decided. These are my three I might want to take a closer look at. So what you're looking at is what is the quality of the shear. This one says Z, so I know that's a Pakistan-made scissor. A lot of the Pakistan scissors are semi-convex. They convex them and then they put a little bevel on them in the factory. Because usually the steel, even if it says Japanese steel, usually that steel is so soft it's not going to hold a true, really sharp convex edge. These, they feel fairly sharp. I can tell by my thumb. 40-45 degree angle. Let's see. It is indeed a semi-convex. And I'll let you see this. You see that edge on there? It's definitely a kind of a rough semi-convex. So I could do this as a true convex, but maybe not sharper than a 40 degrees, or I could just stay with the semi-convex. That's sort of my decision. Let's see what we've got here. This one is another one, the Pakistani, the Z-Pak. And it's very obviously is a semi-convex. The semi-convex bevel on this one is much smoother than the one on this one. So I'm trying to decide which one is actually the factory edge and which is the aftermarket edge, because these edges look very different. And what I'm looking for, I'm looking to see whether the angle has kind of changed. A lot of times, well, you can't always tell if that's from the factory or from another sharpener that has done that. A lot of times you're going to see wider and then narrower the little bevel on here. But this it's a definite, even more definite than that one's, a definite semi-convex. And what I'm saying, when I say semi-convex, some people call that a micro-bevel. Okay, so these are both Pakistani, and I probably will just go ahead and continue with a little semi-convex. Now this one is Tashita, and these are probably Chinese. It says Japanese cobalt steel. Most likely not, but I don't know. But I'm not a metallurgist. But let's look at the edge on here. Now this looks like the original edge. It doesn't look like it's been sharpened. And looking at it, and it looks like it's just kind of generally dull. And this is the only one of this group that I would actually sharpen as a convex. If these were an expensive brand, something other than Pakistan, and it looked like what we saw here, I would assume someone else had put a bevel on it and it should have been convex. That's just because I know that a lot of the places in Pakistan, they'll sharpen, put a convex, and then put a little bevel. And that all this comes with knowing your brands of shears. And there's no way to know them unless there's no way to know all these things unless you just have been sharpening for a while. And even at that, you can also go and look them up, but it's not going to tell you on the website if they're made in Pakistan, or probably not even if they're made in China. So let's see what's in this other batch here. Okay, I'm glad I've got this edge. This is a little different. This is what I call a sword edge. These two. It's has like a spine down the middle, and it's like a really wide bevel. And some of your better shears, that wide bevel is just going to be a really, really sharp angle. And then a lot of times, and this is an example of one, the back is going to be convex. So that would be a sword edge on the front, which would be like a wide bevel. You might do a little rocking from that spine down, and the back is a true convex. And let's see what these look like. And these have a little micro bevel to them. And you can tell it by, they look convex, but when you feel it with your thumb, there's a micro bevel. You see that little micro bevel? And without using the magnifier, I can kind of guess about that just by feeling it with my thumb. If it looks convex, but it feels really blunt. And both of these blades feel blunt. I've sharpened this brand before. The metal seems pretty soft. It really doesn't have a brand, just a model number on the back. And so I have two of these. Now that's another. Oh wow! This one might be a video. This one might be a video in itself. You got to see this. Wow, this has been. This one we may shoot a whole video on this one. Look at this. Y'all want to? Let me know in the comments below if you want to see how I would fix that. Look at the nicks on this thing. And the other edge, other side. Isn't that pitiful? Yeah, that would be, put a comment below if you want to see me sharpen these, how I do those. Let's see what else we have in here. Now these obviously don't have a bumper, but those are, to my naked eye, they look truly convex. They feel fairly sharp on my thumb. This isn't one of our Bonika shears, so I happen to know what it's made of. I didn't even check before I was feeling for it, because I was just going to say this feels like a pretty good shear, but this is one of our Bonikas. So this is supposed to be truly convex, and I'll sharpen that one up, and the bumper is covered under warranty. So that's a nice little shear. So that was our chameleon that we have. We still have a few of those in stock. It's a popular little shear. And let's see what's in here. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is going to be one that you're going to see that's been over-sharpened by someone that just took way too much metal off. And we're going to try to get this one working well. This one might be a video. If you want a video on the badly nicked scissor, or if you want a video on the no-name shears with the bad sharpening, let's take a look at that one a little closer. I think you'll find that one interesting. This one's been convex. It hasn't. I don't think anyone's beveled it. Well, they've kind of beveled it too. It's a possibility. Let me let you look at it and see if you agree with me. I think this one might have been beveled in the factory and like a semi-convex, and then someone went in and tried to truly convex it and never really reached the edge. It's pretty blunt. But let's see what we can do with that one. That should be an interesting challenge. We've got the tip is sharp. Either have to bend the handle or round off the tip. So that one's another challenge shear. So we'll leave those to last. So I have 2 in here. Let's see what's in these. This is another convex. Really bad edge. That should be interesting to sharpen. Put that, what's on this side. Another one of these Z-Pack. Yeah, this one is semi-convex, and that's from the factory. That's not from sharpening. That's just like that other one we saw. And it needs a bumper. Put that in there, and let's see what's in here. I was hoping to have a true beveled edge. And looky here, I do. I have a true beveled edge, so you can see what a real beveled edge looks like. And this one, of course, I told you when we have the colors, they're going to be a semi-convex. And this one, I'm glad I've got this one in here. This is what happens if you try to convex one of these colored ones and don't do it as a bevel. You see, you take off too much of that color, and that is just unsightly. Yeah, that's some really bad looking sharpening there. I don't know if you want to look at that closer, but you know, some of these things I really don't want to look at closer. They just look really bad. This is going to be an interesting group to do. Let's see. But now, this one here, I do want you to see this one, because this, out of all of them, this is the only one I would call a true beveled edge. This is, does it have a name on it? Made in China. That's all I see. Little cheap scissor. It has virtually no hollow to it, maybe just slightly hollow, but no ride line. And it has a true beveled edge. And I'll let you see this. And even though this looks really bad and really rough, that's factory. That's what it was in the factory. So I don't want to do this really different than what the factory did. I'll do this with something with a very coarse grit. And of course I'm going to have to work on that screw first. I don't want to try to make this shear something it's not. So I'm not going to work the ride line. I'm going to bevel it and see if I can get it to cut. And that, hopefully I can tighten that screw a little bit. The only thing this is also terribly bent. I'm going to hold it right here like this, and you can see when I close it, it's bent. So I may try to bend that blade and get it to cut. If you want to see that, if you want to see bending the shear, put that in the comments below too. We've seen convex, we've seen beveled, we've seen semi-convex, we've seen badly sharpened edges, we've seen edges that have been damaged. So you've seen a lot of different edges today. I hope this helps you diagnose the different types of edges you're going to come across and know how you want to approach them. Watch some of our other videos. Be sure and subscribe. I try to post videos a couple of times a week. Ring the little bell so that you'll know when the videos are playing, the new things are out there. And if there's some things you want me to show you and talk about and shoot more videos on, let me know. I'll be doing some more follow-up for the Sharpener's Jam, looking at some of the ideas that was presented and trying them myself. Let's see how they work. So, hope you enjoy the video, and now I've got a lot of sharpening to do, so let me get going.